set up my station. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturn's Day. So that song goes, "This is the season, turn, turn, turn. This is the season, turn, Saturn." Hi, Zeus Scott. How are you? Hi, Brian Leostar. What's up? Let me get my audio set up here. We're working on a budget. Got no sponsors yet. Hi, 6 people. Oh, awesome. So I'm Aphrodite Rose Starfire. Welcome to my channel. I am going to participate in the PSYOP du jour. Are we gonna plug this in? Please let me know if you can hear me. Are we cooking with gas? Ugh. Can you hear me? Awesome. Awesome. All right. So I'll go ahead and get started. So I'm sure as you've all heard, awesome. I'm sure as you all heard about this freaking Chinese spy balloon that's floating over the United States, and hey, Adrian, and some other possible areas of the world right now. Immediately I knew this was my dream, this balloon. And it's kind of, I was on the fence of if I, want to make a video about it. Like, I don't know if content creators, I don't know, I think we're pretty similar, but you kind of go through waves of wanting to post a lot and then needing to kind of not post and just be a listener and observer for a while again. But anywho, everybody's jumping on this, and I feel like my dream is important to share. And I think I might have actually already shared it on the last live stream that I did called LA is Better Now. Because I had this dream the night of January 20th, morning of January 21st of this year, 2023. And it has been a part of a cluster of dreams I've been having recently, all related to the firmament and busting through the firmament. In my dreams, I'm usually kind of in the same handful of settings, and I'm very skilled at flying in my dreams. I've made videos about learning how to fly in your dreams, but there is a physics to it. There's like a different physics in your dream world, and to be able to fly, it really has to do with a confidence and a belief. And once you start doubting your ability to fly, you fall. So in my dreams, I have very strong effects of gravity, free falling, flying, being propelled, like being in a jet, like jet engines. But this dream that I had on the early morning of January 21st, I was in my dad's backyard, the house I pretty much grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, in the East Bay specifically. And my dad's house is on like the top of a hill, like kind of one of the biggest hills in the area. And it was nighttime, and I've been having recurring dreams in this setting, in this house, of alien invasion type things. So this dream, it was nighttime. There's this big hill in the backyard, and I ran up the hill. Again, it was nighttime, and I could see over the fence into the neighbor's yard, down the hill into subsequent neighbors' yards, and it was all flooded. Like the water, there was like, monumental flooding, like Noah's Ark version, where it was like water up, people's houses were submerged like up this giant hill. And it was kind of like a wartime, like there was, it felt like there was like things being shot at in the air, like things buzzing past and like people running around. I felt like there was kind of like these helicopter energies, like things in the sky. And I'm at the top of my dad's hill, and I start releasing this balloon, and it's a white, perfectly sphere, giant balloon. And it's like all of these people in their backyards are launching these balloons, and attached to we're watching the balloon float up. And attached to the balloon is a bunch of firecrackers, like dynamite. It looks like old school dynamite. And as we're launching them, we're lighting them. So it's like it's glowing up as it's lifting up. And I realized that the purpose is like we're trying to explode a hole into the firmament, into the ceiling. And we're watching this balloon go up, and it hits the top of the ceiling, and the balloon like really like fluffs out, mushrooms out, kind of like a deflating parachute. And then the fireworks hit the top of the ceiling and explode. And the explosion like lit up the whole underside of the ceiling, of the firmament. And I could see it was like a wall. It like mushroomed. The white balloon plumped out, and then it exploded, and it like lit up the whole underside of the ceiling. And like more and more balloons were being launched, and some of the firecrackers jumped off and like went into my shirt. So I was like trying to like pull out the firecrackers before they exploded inside my shirt. But I woke up, and it was like the day before Chinese New Year. So it was like it's not like I had really not focused on when Chinese New Year was going to be, or like what day specifically it was. But when I woke up, it was like Chinese New Year. So I was like, oh, that makes sense. Cause it felt like, the traditions where they're launching this is the next day. I'm like processing the dream. I'm thinking about them launching those Chinese lanterns that are like glowing spheres, and you light them with the candle and like a prayer lantern. I was thinking like that. And then also like the firecrackers are like totally Chinese New Year. And it's like I had this dream before Chinese New Year happened. So I was like, okay, this is totally connected to Chinese New Year. And I was kind of more thinking like, oh, they're going to try to break through the firmament on Chinese New Year. But I thought it was weird because the balloon was so specific. It was like perfectly round, and it was white. And then this this Chinese spy balloon now comes on the, interwaves or whatever, the collective consciousness. And it's like, this is the balloon that we were launching. It wasn't like a hot air balloon, with colors. It wasn't like, a parachute. It was like specifically a perfectly sphere white. And it was like, in my dream, it was very fluffy. Like when it hit the top of the ceiling, it poofed out. And then the dynamite still had inertia and like went up to the ceiling and exploded. Excuse me. But another firmament dream that I've had more recently was I was A lot of times I start off kind of in a school setting, like my high school or college, something like that. And like I'm in between classes, or like it's like the end of the day and I'm trying to get to my car. And then I kind of realize things are off, like there's nobody around. And I realize like I'm in something in my dream. And it's like, it's very petri dishy. It's very like test tube bubbly. So then like when I have my like lucidity, then I spend my dream trying to like get out, or trying to, it's like I have this mission to break through the firmament. But this dream, I started flying, and as I'm flying, I could hear the controllers outside of the dome, kind of like Hunger Games, and it was more like Truman Show, where they were all kind of dressed in black with kind of like headsets, and they're like, okay, and like I'm flying through the dome, like the air in the dome, and it's kind of like pastel cotton candy colors, more like it was like canary yellow. It was like canary yellow and very pale blue, but it wasn't bright. It was very faint coloring. Like it was like a half-assed watercolor. Like it was like the old Crayola watercolors. Like it wasn't very defined coloring. But anyways, I'm flying and I could hear them project the sound in. They're like, okay, we're gonna release your essence now. And then it was like they were like they were using everything that they got. They were using like their best attempt. And what it was is they were pumping in my own essence into the dome. They're like, okay, we're pumping in her own like Aphrodite essence. And it was like this mist came in as I'm flying, and it was like my own DNA that they were like pumping in, and they were trying to like upgrade me as I'm flying, so like I go faster, and I was gonna like pierce through the dome, the inside of the dome of the firmament. Because as like the mist came in of my essence, like I got more and more powerful. But like I think as I hit the ceiling, that's when I woke up. Um, and then another dream recently I had was, again, I was flying through the night sky. I think there was there were ships in the air abducting people, and there was this giant, I think I've seen it in multiple movies, but it was this giant smoke cloud. Like it was huge. I was flying so I could see like the landscape. Like it was like as big as Los Angeles, like the whole city. It was this giant smoke cloud, and it kind of had like kind of sparkles in it. But it wasn't, it was nefarious, and it had the head of a bear. It had a bear with teeth, and it was um, like devouring the city, and I'm like flying around, and it noticed me, then it tried to like get me. But hi Wednesday, how's it going, girl? Yeah. Hey Kat. So that's about it. I thought it was really interesting that I made the connection of this balloon in my dream being Chinese, but I connected it to Chinese New Year because of the firecrackers and because my balloon looked like a Chinese lantern, and now this white balloon is like labeled as Chinese. Um, and there's definitely been all kinds of moon coding going around with the bang bangs that have been happening. Like the sheriff here in Los Angeles is Sheriff Moon. Um, there was the other bang bang in Half Moon Bay. Um, like another of the sheriff's name is Luna. Um, like another one of the sheriffs, I think in Half Moon Bay is her name was like Christina Corpus, like Christ's body, the body of Christ. So there's all this like moon stuff, and the moon is the egg, The moon is the egg. I really suggest watching my video about the moon bump. And that highlights the ties of the American Horror Story series of the, it's one of the last ones. I think there's been subsequent ones, but the alien abductions and the secret space program of growing alien hybrids in both men and women. And they tie in the fake moon landing. And this has to do with moon, like a fake pregnancy. They wear something called a moon bump. A fake baby is called a moon bump, the foam belly. And this has to do with the moon being either a fake womb, an egg. Some people have said they think the moon is like an egg with a dragon in it. So they've definitely been chemming the holy bejeebus out of the sky lately. And apparently all this, solar activity has been happening, and then there's been a decrease in activity along with this comet, this green comet. Remember, comets are hair. A comet is the same as hair, and also sperm, like a panspermia. But if you think of hair, pollen, bees, sperm, there's also the mushroom tie, like the ties of the, people talking about the new increase in fungal infections. With the disseminated aspergillosis that I diagnosed when I was doing vascular surgery, we were pulling out tumors, or we thought they were tumors, but I knew they weren't tumors, but they were giant white fungus balls. They were giant mushrooms that were growing inside of this Taiwanese woman. She was from Taiwan. But this balloon looks like a big mushroom ball, and they release spores when they explode. Those big puffer fungus balls, they explode and release their spores. That's also a panspermia, an explosion of genetic material that flows through the air to be, So, and of course there's the whole, egg shortage, the chicken stuff. And it's interesting that apparently the way that these people are getting over their decrease in egg laying from the chicken feed that they assume is they've switched their chicken feed to goat feed and feeding their chickens goat feed. And this has improved their chickens laying again. Because if they don't have the right protein ratios in their feed, then they can't make the eggs correctly. And that kind of ties into the iPet goat, with the goat in the pen and the cracked egg head, and then the guy that looks like a sperm that's broadcasting the messages. Yeah. Hey, Brian says manifestation happens faster during wider moons because more spirit juices are flowing through a wider hole. Ooh, yes. Wednesday says, I love your connections. Moon is the egg. Do you know I'm a descendant from Augustus Moon? And my psycho ex used to call me Moonchild. Remember that book by, Crowley? Moonchild? Yeah. Well, the moon is supposed, is tied with the feminine, and Diane or Diana, Luna, the feminine essence. And a lot of things that we say, oh, they're horned, is actually a crescent moon on their heads, or they're standing on a crescent moon. And like the horns, like for the symbols on Mercury and stuff, like those are actually, it's like supposed to be a crescent moon. That's what it symbolizes. And then like the symbol for Islam is a crescent moon. You could even say the hammer and sickle is a crescent moon, the sickle. And then there's the Saturn moon matrix, right? That the moon is connected to Saturn, and It's actually some kind of satellite to maintain a frequency of Saturn that projects like this holographic reality that we're on this record player. Let's see if I can show you this. It's just like Chemtrail City. Chemtrail City nights. Yeah. Chemtrail City. Yeah, it's just like non-stopola, crapiola. All right, gals and gents, I'm gonna go. Thanks so much. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Yes, I am in the land of James Munder. I'm feeling his vibes. Have great vibes right here. Meeting new friends. Super awesome. I do think that we are manifesting good things if you stay a good vibe. But you have to be true to yourself. Like if you gotta get something out, you gotta get it out. This is the time to do things. If you need to do something, if you need to fix something, fix it now. Do it now. Go to the movies now. Go to the mall now. Go fix your car now. Go walk to the beach now. Go to the park now. Go walk your dog now. Go bake that cake now. Anything that you want to do, do it now. Okay, love you all.